There is a substantial risk of loss associated with trading forex, binary options, stocks, or equities, collectively, asset classes. Only risk capital should be used for trading. Trading in any asset classes is not appropriate for everyone. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. No representation is being made that investors will make profits, or will not sustain losses. Before trading in any asset classes, investors should consult with their professional broker, financial advisor, or financial consultant to determine whether trading asset classes is appropriate. Investors who trade in any asset classes should only do so if the capital used for this purpose represents funds that an investor can afford to lose without adversely impacting the investor's lifestyle. No trading strategy or methodology is without risk of loss. No trading strategy is risk-free, and no trading strategy can guarantee profits or freedom from losses. Investors risk losing the cost to execute any transaction, including associated commissions or fees. You should carefully consider whether trading in any asset class is appropriate for you in light of your investment experience and financial resources. Any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. None of the statements or materials in the Auvoria Prime chat rooms constitute a solicitation or recommendation to buy or sell.
So we're going to go on over to all of our VPSs and we're going to take a look at what's going on and what we have experienced. First, NZD CAD we can see is still in some drawdown. Taking a look over here, GBP CHF is still not taking a trade. AUD NZD is still in a little drawdown, as we can see here. AUD CHF is not in any trades. AUD JPY has made some money, but as you see, AUD JPY is down some money. As we saw in the FX book, says JPY pairs have been eliminated from what we're doing. You can see exactly where we had taken these buys that we just got out of and made some profit. USD JPY, you can see that some profit would have also been made last week. It's not now. There's some trades on the chart. That's a demo. We'll keep moving. Coming over here to CHF JPY, we know that CHF JPY is had blown an account in the past, so we've never refunded it. AUD USD is up 2.5% on the data account here on these $500 data accounts. USD CHF is up 22% this week on the data account. Had a huge swing. USD CHF has made a bunch of money. CAD CHF plus 1.55%. CHF JPY we had talked about. CAD JPY has made a little bit, but as you saw, it had taken big loss in the past. Hit some stop losses as we avoid JPY pairs moving forward. Euro CAD, as we know, is also a worse performer, and as we know, is also a worse performer, and has experienced some losses in the past. Currently, it's in some drawdown, swinging some trades. Euro USD is up on the week, 2% floating profit. Euro CHF, no trades on the week. Euro CAD, as we know, we just talked about. Euro JPY, as we see, has toasted a 500 account down to 200 and is currently in some floating profit, swinging a trade, but Euro AUD has not swung a trade in a while. Looking at GBP AUD, no action this week. GBP USD swung for 10% this week, 10.5%. GBP NZD, no action this week. GBP JPY has done 12% this week. GBP CAD. USD CAD, as you see, we're in very little drawdown on it. This account has actually done very well. It's time to process some withdrawals from it, but it has continued to make money. NZD USD did not get into any trades this week. Keep going through Cloud Trader 9 here. We can see that Euro NZD has made some profit this week. As well, we can see AUD CAD has made some profit this week. And if we keep going, we're going to get into this account. This account has swung and closed out some profits. Euro JPY and USD CHF this week has swung at a few $100s on the 10K account and made back some of these CHF JPY stop losses. We're going to go take a look at the FX book on the 10K account here, and what I'm going to explain to you guys is all the losses that were occurred on this account all came from CHF JPY. Every single one of these stop losses was CHF JPY. So we've obviously removed that pair from our trading strategy and style. Other than that, all the other pairs had performed brilliantly that were not eliminated or considered worst performers. So we've essentially removed CHF JPY. We should have removed it back in July after the first, ring of stop losses all the way to November. But we kept it, and it made all its money back, and then CHF JPY had toasted it again, and now it's made most of it back and is continuing to grow. But what did we learn from that? We learned that CHF JPY is not a pair we should be running. The best part, though, is that GearBox handled as it should. It took the volatility, it took the losses, and it's making it back. Some people can't stomach losses. They are inevitable. It's going to happen from time to time. It's how you manage it. As you see, this was our worst month. We lost 9%. If we go to past, we had 1 month or 2, we lost 9%. So we had 2 losing months in 2021. Chances are we're going to have 2 losing months in 2022, and they started off the year, and that's okay. But if the rest of the year we average out in the higher range here of 6 to 5.92%, we're going to do just fine. So good to show that, and just make sure that we understand, hey, there's some pairs that we should just eliminate, and we're always going to be constantly optimizing. No system is fully automated forever. You need to constantly be optimizing it and improving it. No algo is ever done. There's never a finished product. So let me take a look at the chat room here. 20,000 balance, starting lot size, max pair. I mean, right now, if I was setting up a brand new 20,000 euro account, I'm going to go most likely with a 0.10 starting lot size, so 0.01 per 2K is most likely what I would personally run. I'm going to stick to the daily time frame and sniper mode with 3 max pairs. I've had some pairs in DD since March. Yep, that can happen, and they started to swing. Many of them started to swing this week for me. I've held a trade set up for 3 months before plenty of times. What do you look for before you accept a trade? Omar, I trust the strategy, so I accept the trades. But that's my personal, strategy because I built the product. For you, if you're a trader, what should you look for before you accept a trade? Well, that's kind of up to you to decide. For me, I simply built a strategy that takes trades and you approve them and it does what it does. I'm not trying to do any micromanagement of my algorithm. The minimum micromanagement I do is optimizations, which is what we're talking about now, increasing gear entries, the different things that people may see, and things like that. But when it comes to the trades, I'm not going and looking at the charts and analyzing, is this a good trade? Should I approve it? I don't do all that. That's personal discretion. You can do that. Absolutely. You're encouraged to do so. But for me, I built the algorithm so that I can just let it run and do its thing and optimize as I need. But as we see that, CHF JPY have eliminated since then, things have been going much smoother. I believe this is the account I'm looking to click. Nope, ignore that account. That's something that we're testing. It's this one. So you guys can see this is a large money account that's currently being managed. I actually believe, hold on, it did not update for some reason. Oh, that's why it's on me to update. It was an EA. Let's go to our managed side. I need to open MetaTrader 5. This is a demo $1 million account that's been running, and I'm opening this one back up because there should have been my FX book EA somewhere on one of these charts, but it disappeared. So we're going to go ahead and trigger her back up. Give me 1 second. Let's go ahead and turn the display off for a minute while I type in the password. Give me 1 second, everybody. No worries here. I just am adding in my information so we can actually update this FX book for us all. Alright, it pushed and updated the statement. So there we go. So as you can see, we were up 8%, and we took a loss, and we made it back. So yes, even on a large $1 million account or floating around, we hit 10% drawdown. We did about over 5% a month, or actually did 8% last month, just about. And some of that was CHF-JPY, which we've now, as you know, eliminated. But the point in showing this is to show that, yes, this is working. We're doing this on larger money. It's $829,000 in here being traded with GearBox. So, yes, we trust the strategy. I understand the strategy. I know what I'm doing. I'm very confident in trading larger capital with it. So, just something to show people. A lot of developers won't show large capital being traded. Oh, I guess you guys can see my screen. Hold on. Here we go. We're back. We're back on screen. So this is an FX book on an $829,000 account. You can see I took a stop loss and made it back. We're in about 10% drawdown currently. Nothing crazy. Actually, it's lowered. We were in that on May 5th. Right now, it's much lower than 10%. As you can see. The point is, it did get into about a 10% drawdown at some point, but is continuing to work and grow from there. So, super exciting stuff. We're constantly optimizing, we're managing. As for the new GearBox chart, it's right here. There's some things to ignore. Ignore the blue things. These are something we're testing for GearBox Pro. It's why it hasn't been released yet. The max levels have been increased for all the normal pairs to Gear 10 from where they were previously set at, which was 8, meaning they can only open 7. So now they're set at 9. They can open, or they're set at 10. Or no, they're set at 11, so they can open to 10. And Gear 12 can now deploy all the way on GBP, which previously was set to Gear 12, but it can only deploy 11. So we've also bumped up the max levels because something we saw that we did enjoy, but we also didn't enjoy. I'll give you an example. Euro NZD, wherever Euro NZD went on our list, right down here. We moved up the entry significantly, but Euro NZD used to enter swing on like a Gear 2 or 3, just way too early. And what we saw happen is people would enter on 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7, and then they railed through every stop loss of all of these trades, and there were no trades on Gear 8, 9, to help them, right? So, or 10 or 11. So what we did is we increased the max gears all the way up here. And this is going to be in the moving manager. That's going to be very updated soon. It'll also increase these gear entries. And because if some of these hit stop loss and you run through all the stop losses of an entire sequence and there's no recovery trades, well, you just lost for, risk management sakes, we could say. But you have no attempt at recovery at that point when the trades finally do swing. So we don't believe in stacking forever, but we do believe that if you have the margin, you have the balance protection, non-hit, and the ability to continue to add new levels, that you should do it if your risk management's in place, which there's other settings in GearBox to allow that. So we've increased these max gears to allow something to go to its fullest, because many times I see people get stuck in a Gear 7 trade and the market's gone to where it could have entered gear 8 and 9, but their max gears wouldn't allow it. And you're losing money in those scenarios. And back in the day when we first set gear 7 as the max for many of the normal pairs, the markets weren't moving the way they're moving now. The entries on many of these pairs were back here, where we first started. I mean, if we even want to take a look back and kind of where we first started, you know, this was kind of where we first started. This was the first version of GearBox. So just to kind of show somebody the first version of GearBox, if we look, I mean, look at the difference in our level data. Okay, this is where we used to enter Super Sniper, gear 4 on many pairs. GBPs was on gear 7. Now we have GBP Super Snipers, you know, all the way up in 9, and many of these are all the way up here. Before Super Sniper was like gear 4 for most of these pairs. Some of these pairs don't even enter on swing anymore, you know, in that range. So just looking at how far away we've come from when we first released. You can see the difference in gear entries, how much we've had to optimize, how much we've had to increase. Imagine if you were still entering these gears back here on many of these pairs, what a different situation the markets would be for you if we weren't constantly optimizing and advancing this algorithm with the current market conditions. So you can see we're highly invested in this. This was the original, the OG, what we released GearBox based on, and this was something. And then here's another one of previously, before we just made more entries and optimizations. This is what many of you were used to seeing, and even now, this is what exists now. So you can see we're constantly optimizing. This can give you an idea of the journey. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the week ahead. Know there's a lot of new stuff being tested for GearBox, a lot of great new features. We're very close to releasing some of them. We always thoroughly test things over and over and over and over again before we give you guys new features. As always, we are very set on making sure whatever it is works well. All right, taking a look. We got some GBP on Monday. We have Euro news on Tuesday. NZD news on Tuesday. Wednesday we have FOMC. Thursday prelim GDP. And then on Friday some more core PCE price index. So some USD red folders, some NZD red folders, and some Euro red folders. And one GBP red folder. Nothing too crazy, but definitely a few red folder events this week. Nothing concerning to me that stands out significantly that makes me say, hey, you should decrease your risk. Nothing like that. But as always, understand your risk, understand your management strategy, understand we're continuously optimizing GearBox for the best market conditions, to try to continue to make it the best possible product it can be. And we're going to continue to do that and improve entry levels, optimizations, and continue to go from there. But with that being said, I appreciate every single one of you tuning into this live call every single Friday. I know sometimes they're very long. I know sometimes they're short. Depends on the week ahead, what we've experienced. This week, it looks like a lot of people started to get some profits swinging from some old trades. Others are still stuck in some trades. I'm stuck in some trades myself, but no worries. Everything is coming together beautifully. And as always, we are in those swing trades that when they swing, they are magnificent. So I look forward to another prosperous week ahead and some beautiful trades swinging so that we can all see some amazing profits on our account. But with that being said, thank you all for taking your time out of your day to be here and spend that time with me every Friday. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and look forward to another amazing trading week ahead. Have a wonderful day.
There is a substantial risk of loss associated with trading Forex, binary options, stocks, or equities, collectively, asset classes. Only risk capital should be used for trading. Trading in any asset classes is not appropriate for everyone. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. No representation is being made that investors will make profits or will not sustain losses. Before trading in any asset classes, investors should consult with their professional broker, financial advisor, or financial consultant to determine whether trading asset classes is appropriate. Investors who trade in any asset classes should only do so if the capital used for this purpose represents funds that an investor can afford to lose without adversely impacting the investor's lifestyle. No trading strategy or methodology is without risk of loss. No trading strategy is risk-free, and no trading strategy can guarantee profits or freedom from losses. Investors risk losing the cost to execute any transaction, including associated commissions or fees. You should carefully consider whether trading in any asset class is appropriate for you in light of your investment experience and financial resources. Any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. None of the statements or materials in the Auvoria Prime chat rooms constitute a solicitation or recommendation to buy or sell.